Alright, well, I went to Veterans Day dinner last night with my landlord and landlady. Well, he didn't make it. He had his leg taken off not long ago. So we went out to dinner, my landlady and I, and got my free Veterans Day meal. And then we brought one home to him and visited with him a bit. So that was nice. Olive Garden, they give you a free Veterans Day dinner, but if you just show your any form of ID. So I took my DD-214 and got a nice dinner. Boy, they feed you. Oh boy. Another reason I didn't show anything after I got home, I was knocked out from all the food. They really feed you. So what I did last night, I want to show you what's going on here. All I did when I got these batteries back from Advanced Auto, the 4 that are working, I've got one that's going back to get replaced yet, and I've got one brand new one. Now what I did is I connected plus to plus, minus to minus, as advised by Mr. Bugseer, I think I'm saying his name right, on YouTube. He has a tugboat, and he's been advising me how to do this, the battery setup. So I've got minus to minus, plus to plus on one pair of batteries. So there's two. That makes one 6-volt battery. Then I've got minus to minus, plus to plus, and there's a 6-volt battery. So that makes two 6-volt batteries. And then I connected them together with a plus to minus, and then I have a large 12-volt battery. Okay. Now, last night after putting these together, they were sitting around I don't remember, 12.5 something or other. 12.53, I don't remember exactly, after putting them all together. Now these just came back from Advanced Auto. They were on the charger and on the load testing. Now all I did just now, a few minutes ago, is I plugged in a cigarette lighter adapter on the minus and the plus, and into that I plugged in a small inverter, which I plugged my laptop into. And let me show you something very disturbing. Now my laptop is not on, it's closed. So all I'm doing is charging a battery. Now, I don't know if you can see this voltmeter. Let me see if you can see that. Alright, now this is quite disturbing. All I did is plugged in the laptop to charge the battery, and I'm down to 12.18, 12.19 volts. That's very disturbing. This is after these have been taken in and professionally charged and load tested. And I did nothing else, nothing at all, except for connect the batteries and plug my laptop in. Now this is supposed to be 432 amp hours of power here. Alright, this is insane. 12.19 volts, just turning on the laptop. I can shut off the inverter, and it'll come up a little bit. 12.25, 12.26. I don't know how that load testing worked. I do not understand. 12.27, it's coming back up now. They did a cold cranking amp test on this. I don't understand how that how their test system works, but real life, turn on this tiny little 75 watt inverter running my laptop, and I'm going down 12.2 to, it's going down 12.22 to 1. This is not okay. I don't know what's wrong, because after the pros told me my batteries are fine, why then can it not power a 75 watt load? I don't get it. This is weird. So now I'm confused, guys. I am totally, absolutely lost and concerned very much about this battery bank. Them showing, I kept the tags on them from Advanced Auto, the load test tags. I kept them on there. So, you know, just to show me for one. I don't get it. I might have to disconnect the two banks from one another and see if there might be one of these still has a low, an internal short bringing it down that maybe they didn't catch. So I think that's what it's going to have to be, is I'll have to charge these all back up, set them up into individual batteries, and just see what happens. But they had charged them one day, let them sit overnight, put them on the load tester the next day, ran their tests, and then charged them back up before giving them to me. And here they are already dropping to 12.19 under a 75 watt load. I don't get it. That cannot be. This is 400 amp hours. So I am seriously lost, everybody. And I am open to anything you have to say. Not sure if I showed this last night, but I really cleaned this all out. I pulled out the cement board that was over here so I can work back there. I exposed the entire wall so I can oil it. I've got a mess in here, but that's typical when you're working. Baby cat's box, her scratching post, baby cat. She takes up half the house. Anyway, last night I started to oil the walls when I got a phone call, and I want to finish oiling that back wall, which I never did do. So I'll be doing that later on. Anyway, got a lot of oiling to do yet because the wood is shrinking. I got to get this oiled up. A book came in the mail. I only know because it says Moonscape Books on the front here. I don't know who sent this. I don't know if I'll know. I'm getting all these mystery packages recently. Oh, look at that. Pearson's Field Guide to Mushrooms. Something I've never had and never got into. Well, I'm curious who sent this. I've talked to a few people about mushrooms recently. So, be interested to know who sent this. And, thank you, because there's a lot of mushrooms out here. There's a lot of uses for mushrooms. Living out here in the forest, you got 56 acres. There are a lot of different types. Wow, look at all the photos. Well, there's some good interesting reading in the evenings, studying, identifying. I never got into it because I just never, actually I wasn't brave enough, to be honest. There's so many mushrooms. You gotta be really careful with mushrooms. You eat the wrong one, it'll be like your last dinner. So definitely when you're studying mushrooms, be careful. Well, whoever sent this, just send me a little message and thank you. Another awesome book to add to my collection of wild foraging. That's something I never had, so thank you very much. Good afternoon, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself world and the hot off-grid project. 86 in and 56 out. Been running around in my t-shirt all day in comfort. It was 51 this morning when I started out my day. Wood stove is closed off. Nothing burning. I have been on the computer this morning because the sun is shining and it's one of the last days of sunlight I'm going to have. And I have to use my computer when I can because I still don't have my solar batteries and everything hooked up yet. I was out last night and today I was on the phone with some companies taking care of some important business. So anyway, I am now working up here on the back wall behind the wood stove so I can get this OSB up. I put a trim piece in behind here so I can attach it. And just because this is going to have the tile, I don't know what baby got into. That's weird. That's really weird. Anyway. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Because I'm going to have tile on here, I'm going to put all the cross pieces so I have something to nail that board to and keep it solid and secure. And I'm going to have to put a cross piece on the side of this here as well, in sideways, so I have something to nail it to, so it's held in properly. So I'll be doing that here, taking care of using the daylight while I have it, and finishing this project up. So, I think I'm ready. I've got one more. I have to take this and pre-drill it. I'm just putting 3 holes in here so I can put screws through. This is a nailer for the OSB that'll go behind the tile. Now I did ask at Lowe's if OSB is acceptable for tile backing, and they said yes. So hopefully. Not much good light in here. Okay, I gotta grab 3 screws. Okay, this is just a nailer so that the OSB stays nice and straight. Sorry, I'm probably blocking your view. It's awkward. Okay. Tight angle to get into there. Okay. Again, I'm probably blocking you, I'm sure. Oh, boy, it's really awkward to get in that angle. Oh. Alright, they're in there. Now I'll cut the OSB, and then I'm going to screw that on. So it's a good solid backing. That's going through with 3-inch screws all the way into the studs behind. Well, I got one piece up. That's the board that the tiles will be attached to later. Baby Cat's a mountain goat. Baby Cat, what you doing up there? Hi. She likes high places, sniffing new areas. So I just got this one more piece to do in here, and that's it. There, now I've got the OSB behind the stovepipe all the way down to the floor. It was a job, I tell you, because for one thing I had to let the wood stove go out before I was working that close to the stovepipe. And then working that high up without leaning on anything. It was awkward because there wasn't much to lean the ladder on here in the first place. So I think I'm still going to finish this sheet of radiant foil right here today yet, and then I'm going to come over here and start working on the solar. I've got, oh, it charged. Oh, right. My the sun was shining right on my solar panels, and I'm down to one good battery. So I plugged in my Ryobi battery charger to a tiny little 75 watt inverter to my battery bank that's outdoors, the weak tired one. It's at 12.4, but they're not very good batteries anymore. That's as good as you're going to get right now. 12.6 is all they'll be at after a day of charging anyway. And that's after running this stuff. Actually, when I shut this off, because that's charged, that should jump back up slowly. Because the sun is still a little bit on the solar panels, so maybe it won't now. Well, anyway, it'll recover its residual little charge that it keeps. But they serve me. I mean, they buffer the solar panels and allow me to run my little baby inverter to charge stuff. I'm in limp mode, power-wise, but I'm getting things done. But I am struggling for batteries now. So I've got 1.5 charged, so to say. So I've got to get this main battery bank up and running soon. Considering my stress about power, you might ask then why am I working on cutting wood and stuff? Well, the reason is because it's outdoors and we've got snow coming. I have to use all this wood, get it inside before the snow hits. So power I can do somewhat without, but I need to get that wood used up before the snow comes. Because I am outdoors, don't forget. I don't have a lot of shelter besides in my tiny house, and we all know how crowded that can be if I bring stuff in. The sun is leaving me. I'm running out of power. I'm running out of time. Priority set. I can wire up my solar at night. It's actually better to wire up my solar, the main system now, at night because I can't be messing with those solar panels when the daylight, when the sun is shining. It's dangerous. These are nailers for the and spacers for the radiant foil. Go there. So I work with the wood while I have daylight. Try to get what I can done before that snow hits. Of course, also putting the radiant foil up here is a good thing because when the snow comes, it's going to be cold. It's going to drop into the 20s this weekend. Well, I got all the furring strips on all the way up to the roof, the ceiling, for the radiant foil to be stapled onto. So I'll unroll a sheet of radiant foil, and it'll be the last thing on this wall for tonight. And the next thing will be working on the solar battery situation down there. I desperately need power next. Get these videos up live for you guys. There's another reason why it's better to have the stove off for this job, because everything might touch it at any given time. The radiant foil will be melting right now if it bumped it, and that would not be convenient. Closing up the gaps. Getting ready for the cold weather. got to try to make this straight as possible. Got to have that 3/4 inch air gap between the insulation and this to keep the hot air out in summer, and then again a 3/4 inch gap in winter to keep the heat in. Where's that board? Somewhere down here there's a cross piece. There you are. Alright, I'm going to get my knife and cut that off, the excess. Let me find it, there it is. Up here. There's that. Oh, it is warm in here, although I've had the heat off for a long time. So I'm going to have to get up on the ladder to do that one. I'll get this done and I'll start on my solar. Alright, it's NASA ready. Well, there it is, all the way up. And a little bit over into the bedroom. I hope you can see it. That wall's done, radiant foil done. So now I'm going to put the furring strips up on top of that. That'll help hold things in place better and prepare for the paneling, which needs to go up next. And over here, of course, I got to finish some paneling. And then the living room will look complete. Now it's going to be really, really cold the next couple days, so I'm not quite sure how long that snow is going to hold off, but it's still 50 degrees out right now at 5 p.m. and the sun going down. It's getting dark out. So I'm using the time and the warmth while I got it.